We got 17 people. Welcome on board, everyone. Welcome to Costa Rica. As we say, Pura Vida or Pure Life. Pura Vida, everyone. We got people who already traveled here with us. Two very good people, Greg Boschert and also Heather Legger from Cruise Brothers and Box of Memories from Travel Planners International. Greg, right? Let's see. Welcome on board, everyone. Northern California, Jeannie, thank you. Wow, we got the whole from west to east, north to south. That's great. That's very great. We're going to get started very soon. Thank you so much for all of you who are on time. And I know you have busy agendas scheduled, and pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that you have separated this hour of your time to listen to us, learn about Costa Rica, learn about this jewel of Central America. So far, we got 16 people joined. In the meantime, we get more people joining. Let me do a little intro video here. Possibly, Heather and Greg, you are familiar with the phrase Pura Vida in Costa Rica. It's something that you can hear it when you say hello, goodbye, everything is okay. I'm dry, I'm wet, I love rain, I love cloth. So you always say, Pura Vida, how are you, Pura Vida? See you later, Pura Vida. So that's something I would like to. In the meantime, we get more people joining. Do this intro for you, my friends. Let me see. It's called Pura Vida. Admitting more people to the room. There we go. I wish you can all please mute your microphones. Thank you.
Pura Vida.
Es parte de nuestro, nos sentimos bien decir pura vida, que estamos muy bien, que estamos pura vida.
¡Guay, papá!
Thank you so much for joining, my friends. Let me stop sharing my screen so you can see everybody who joined this masterclass, last one of 2024. Want to give a warm welcome to everyone uh, who's repeating this meeting. And this masterclass is gonna be a little bit different. So let me introduce myself. I think we have already 24 participants. Welcome on board. Some of them couldn't join. They're having a very busy schedule today. My name is Eric Salazar, and I am actually the sales and operations manager and director for Costa Rica Travel XM. Some of you are familiar with our company. Some of you are just being introduced Travel XM to your DMC list for this destination. I know some of you have never sold Costa Rica, but I'm pretty sure, I'm convinced that after this presentation, that's going to be about 30 to 40 minutes, you will be, just willing to travel here and see what's up with Costa Rica. Why is it that it's such a popular destination? Okay, so to begin with, the number one thing I would like to ask you is to mute your phones, your devices. As you mute, I can do the presentation on its totality. We will have one short video in the middle that is 3 to 3.5, 4 minutes. But the presentation has a lot of illustrations about the different destinations and why is it that people travels here? Why is it that Costa Rica, in between of these turbulent Central America, is known for? Many people says, "Oh, Costa Rica, I've heard about Costa Rica. You got rainforest, right?" Oh, yes, we have plenty of rainforest. You got coffee, yes. You got animals. You got the sloth, the toucans, the monkeys. Okay, but nonetheless, actually, I would like to introduce our director for Travel XM. XM stands for Experience Management. And I would like Suman to introduce himself, and so we can get started. Suman, welcome on board.
Yep. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks everyone for joining this masterclass. We really appreciate taking time out of your busy schedule and joining. Right, like our main goal. Like, yeah, Eric will be sharing a lot of information, but like what we want to say is, we just want to help you guys sell Costa Rica as much as possible, right? Like, uh, not only training, like Eric will be mentioning more, like where else we can support, right? Like, even when it comes to help market Costa Rica, marketing assets, and at the end we'll also share what are the next things we are planning, so that it helps it easier for you guys, right? Like for you, for your customers. So yeah, that's it, Eric.
Thank you, Suman. You guess what? We have people from Utah, from Minnesota, from Northern California. I'm pretty sure that you can use the chat. In the meantime, we are doing the presentation. Remember that at the end of this presentation, which is again 30, 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, because I would like to leave room for you to ask your questions. If you just, take notes in what I'm actually exposing about the regions and what to do, what type of categories of travel, if you're a luxury leisure traveler on your agendas, or if you have fishing trips or honeymooners or corporate events, we cover everything that can happen in Costa Rica. So take your notes. So for the end, we will have a Q&A sessions. Of course, always writing on the chat is important so that I can go back to the chat in the meantime at the very end of the presentation. So please mute your microphones. Okay, thank you. Social, yes, social accounts. That's so important, Suman. Thank you for mentioning that, because we will be recording this meeting and we will be sending it to your emails. Okay, so you can review and see more about the destinations that I'm gonna be talking about at this moment. Maybe okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen, people. There we go. You're seeing actually that in Costa Rica, Travel XM stands for Experience Management. We provide uh, really life-changing experiences. Some people say, how many tours do you sell? Actually, we provide opportunities for your travelers and for you as travel advisors and travel agents to have experiences that you will not be, that won't be repeated anywhere else. You can take a cruise, you can take a catamaran trip, a sailing tour, a zip lining tour anywhere in the world, with the context of mentality and focus on environment, focus on the people that you will be interacting with in Costa Rica and your clients. This is what it makes the change. So real life changing experiences is what we offer. TravelXM has been with more than 20 years of experience. We've been able to um, cope with the general context of what is for a traveler valuable. Okay, so what is valuable for traveling? Costa Rica Travel Exam, we do have our corporate head office in Columbus, Ohio, right where our director Suman is located. Everything that is the financial part, deposit, everything that is dollar sign, it will be managed in the US. So you don't have to worry when you book your trip to manage the different exchange of currency in Costa Rica that we call it colones and 520 colones per $1. No, you don't have to just make a whole problem about that. We manage all deposits internally with the national, with one U.S. bank, and everything is done. We pay all of our travel agents and travel advisors a 15% of commissions of the total sale after trip, and we will give you more details about that. First of all, let me tell you that also we have two offices in Costa Rica for operations, sales, and reservations. And we have been also working with several of the post agency and personal agencies. For example, here we are prepared and approved vendors with some of the ones that you're seeing here: Cruise Planners, Travel Planners International, Travel Connection, First Travel Alliance, Cruise Brothers, etc. Prestige, outside agents, and of course we got our membership with ASTA. So you will see it, ASTA Travel Exam in the different conventions. What Costa Rica is known for, many people say, well, I know Costa Rica because I've sent travelers there, and I know you actually arrange tours and things related to nature, to rainforests, to beaches. You have beautiful beaches and volcanoes, but there's something deeper than that that makes Costa Rica more special. What is the most original thing that you can find in Costa Rica? Costa Rican people, okay? One person says a president of the United States visited Costa Rica, all of them have. And by then, Mr. Obama actually encountered with a group of school kids. And that was our committee of welcoming. And our president, Laura Chinchilla, he said, you know what is the most thing I've enjoyed learning about you and your peoples is that you reflect your life philosophy as pura vida, meaning that it's pure life. Well, everything is pure life. If you're alive, everything is pure life. The whole context of living the word or the phrase is something beyond there. It's more about being optimistic. It's more about being natural and being happy all the time. You know that Costa Rica has been one of the happiest countries in the world. Well, of course, it's because there's different parameters that make this beautiful Central American country in the middle, this little oasis in the turbulent Central America's political instability, unrest for many years in the 80s and the 90s. But Costa Rica has been able to do since 1948, since we abolished the army. And I say we, I wasn't born then, but I say that the army was abolished in 1948, and everything related to the army investing was declared to be invested for schools, education, healthcare. That's why today I can communicate myself in an English language because of our educational system. I've never been to United States, never been to an English speaking country. All of I know is because of the basic language structure and educational structure since the 80s. And let me tell you, it's very effective. What is Costa Rica known for also? It's very well located in the social progress imperative. A small nation in Central America, believe me, is ranking on the very top and, dealing with Finland and Denmark and, all these very highly developed countries and have a very, very modern structure of managing politics. Costa Rica is right there. So this is something very interesting that we're going to see in a little bit. Abundance of flora and fauna. Of course, we protect 28% of our territory into national park. What we do with all these mountains if we cannot use them? Well, let's use them, of course, into the context. Costa Rica has 120 volcanoes, but only 5 of these are active volcanoes. As you can see on the map in this presentation, these high mountains that are 10 to 12,000 feet high in the middle of the country towards Panama. This is amazingly an area that is so diverse. Having the coast so close to each other, Caribbean Sea to Pacific coast, you can drive 4 hours with non-stop and you get from the Caribbean Sea to the Pacific Ocean. And remember, the coastline of Costa Rica is something to talk about. We have the purest quality of water in the world. 99.2% of the inhabitants of Costa Rica are offered in their household piped in water, electricity, and internet availability. So technology is something we need to talk about here as well. Happy, friendly people. Where do you find the happiest people in the world? Also in Costa Rica. And I'm going to show you one little documentary that is not more than, that's about 4 minutes, that talks about why people are happy and live longer. Okay? Maybe you've heard also that Costa Rica has a high percentage of literacy, 98.7% of literacy, and 78% of the high school graduates are English bilingual, at least on a 70%. So this talks about a lot about the structure and the dynamics of education. Top world luxury infrastructure for travelers, from 5+ star hotels, all inclusive, from 4 or 5-star hotels everywhere. But the network of infrastructure that we have is very solid. It's very appealing for any kind of traveler. Any budget can be taken by travel exam as well. Still solid, strong, stable politics and state of law is important. Safety in Costa Rica is a must. Legal procedures, and of course, qualified, well-educated labor. The Well-Being Economy Alliance also positions Costa Rica as one of the most strategical places in the world to make business. Now I'm going to show you a slide that talks about why traveling to Costa Rica is a gain deal. Not only travel and to experience activities and to see the monkeys and see the sloth and try one of the best coffees in the world. It's also because you interact all the time with local people. Greg and Heather, who have traveled here last August with us, they actually experienced that by interacting in every single tour or activity or hotel. And even with our trip leader and our driver, you were interacting with very original people. Costa Rica is also number 12 in the world ranking of happiest countries. And you can see above Costa Rica is Sweden, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Finland, Switzerland, Iceland, Denmark, and Norway. Or wow, right? So there are some other factors that take in consideration about the society of Costa Rica. The emotional pull of Costa Ricans of not having an army, not living under pressure or political unrest is something that makes people of Costa Rica more oriented to being always welcoming and open arms. Okay. Also, something called blue zones. Costa Rica is one of the 5 different blue zones in the world where people live not only happier, but longer years. Okay. So let me present you here a video that is only 4 minutes around, talks about one specific person in this blue zone of Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. And if you watch news like I do, you know ABC News? Okay, here we go.
Now talk about the real reason that Maria is here with us. It's a special series called Eating to 100 Today.
Yeah, she's revealing the secrets to a long and healthy life from those so-called blue zones. There are 5 places that are home to the longest living populations. On Tuesday, Maria, you took us to Greece.
That's right.
This morning, we're heading to a special corner of Costa Rica.
Yes, it was really fun. And so what I found in Costa Rica was a lot of fresh and healthy food and some colorful characters, including a frisky 100-year-old cowboy.
Dan Buettner is on a mission to capture a way of eating that's disappearing.
Arguably the greatest diet ever invented by humans.
I've joined the National Geographic explorer and author on Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula, famous for beautiful sandy beaches and exotic wildlife. But we're here to meet some of Nicoya's most remarkable residents, the humans that seem to defy the limits of age.
There's only about 1 in 4,000 people make it to 100 in America. In this area here, you have about 1 in about 250. We're going to see a very special centenary. He doesn't exercise. He doesn't take supplements. He drinks a little bit. He loves the ladies.
Is this him?
There he is, yeah. He's a cool dude.
I'm here to learn all your secrets.
Meet Jose Bonifacio, 100 years old and still jumping on his horse every morning.
He's one of the great cowboys, Guanacaste. They're famous for being tough. If you find a centenarian in America, most of the time they're never as sharp as he is. He has a certain charm to him. ¿Cuántas novias? I asked him how many girlfriends he's had. He can't count them all.
Maybe that's the secret to being 100.
But it turns out the real reason behind Jose's incredible staying power may not be so sexy.
In America, this would be viewed as a rather unhealthy breakfast. Rice, beans, tortillas.
It's way better for you than you think. This is the whole corn that's been ground up. The average American could eat a cup of beans a day. It would add 4 years to their life expectancy. They do it every day for an entire life.
A morning ritual that's washed down with a cup of black coffee.
Over the centuries and the millennia, these people have learned how to make healthy food taste good.
In a nearby town famous for its tortillas, they even built a statue honoring the women who make them.
That's a thing of beauty.
This is why she's famous here.
Yeah, people come from villages around. She'll cook 140 of these a day, and she sells them about 50 cents a piece. They do it all by memory. She's taking the ashes from the wood.
What is she going to do with that?
Soak in the corn. This is what makes the corn healthy.
How can eating ash be good?
They don't exactly eat the ash. They use the ash to remove the hull of the corn, to release the niacin.
That niacin is a B vitamin that reduces cholesterol and the risk of heart attacks.
This takes the place of going to the gym right here.
It's hard work that requires a lot of skill.
Why doesn't it come off? Oh my God, look!
They're all laughing at you.
I know, they should.
Turns out the younger generations here aren't picking this up either.
Younger women won't know these recipes. If you notice, the people we interacted with are all 60, 70 years old. As you saw this morning, we drove by fast food restaurants, burgers and fries and sodas. The diet that got people to live to 100 is being completely overtaken by the standard American diet, like a tsunami washing away, and I want to capture it before it's gone.
A recipe for longevity that's kept a 100-year-old cowboy riding tall in the saddle.
He says, I'm poor, but I have money. I'm sad, but I live happy. But in the pursuit of beautiful women, that's what really kills me. So it's basically a big compliment. He loves you.
Oh, he does.
Frisky is right.
He's frisky.
Okay,
Tomorrow we're heading to the.
okay, excellent. Seeing this actually calls the attention to, wow, last day, about 2 months ago, I met Doña Panchita. She's 110 years old, and she uses an axe to cut the wood for cooking. At Costa Rica Travel Exam, we want to bring these intimate moments for all the travelers. That's exactly what the originality of traveling to Costa Rica is, mingling with the local people and doing activities that have to do with the local people all the time. So basically here, what I'm going to present right now is that at the Travel Exam, we're being able to also cope with mixtures, a specific mixture. When you actually have a corporate, for example, corporate business travel, we have been able to host corporations and incentive travel, digital nomad, as well as team building. In case you are into that context, we actually offer the top-notch world stage of corporate business travel in Costa Rica, offering not only the lining tours and this, but also bringing the originality to the context. We also provide the possibility to arrange everything related to accommodations, high corporate and notch as well. Leisure, luxury travel is possibly one of the top things that we are seeing now. It's more like an orientation to be more at leisure and do your own thing at your own pace. At Travel Exam, we also not only build FIT or custom trips for all of you, depending what your clients want to do. That's exactly the tendency. We're seeing people are more like oriented to oh no, we want to do only this and this and this. We don't want to be buy a pre-packed trip where there is activities we're not interested. So that's exactly what Travel XM is more oriented to. Provide you as travel advisors and travel agents the capability and the possibility to provide your clients and your travelers an a la carte menu that we can provide with all the different characteristics. Possibly Heather here in the group can tell about that since we're building a 12-day trip for a group actually. Okay. Costa Rica is actually an open outdoor classroom. Besides adventure activities provided with adrenaline, we also have all these cultural background activities that are along the way. If you're driving from here to the Arenal volcano 3 hours, it's not necessarily that you are driving from the airport to your next hotel 3 hours. We're going to be doing several stops along the way to provide you of greater value to your experience in Costa Rica. So we manage the experience on a day by day, hour by hour as you travel around. Of course, ecology and nature is a must. If you're in a country that has 28% of its territory protected in national parks, one night to come and learn about the ecological niches, the national park. Not only this, science also as well. Wildlife, the coasts are so diverse. We have from pink sand beaches to black sand beaches to white sand beaches, and coast and bays on the Pacific side mostly are so diverse. Of course, what we do is that we have this called sustainable development. We provide local people, the government has been able to cope and provide local people to develop their own ecotouristic rural tourism in their communities to protect the forest, protect the watershed, and at the same time welcome people to learn about the ecosystems. For example, Costa Rica is a great diving ground. If we take in count our patrimonial ocean on the Pacific, we will have actually an island close to the Galapagos Island in Ecuador archipelago. So the extension of ocean for Costa Rica is very large. So it's one of the most favorite places for diving and snorkeling, sailing as well, and high class offshore tournament for fishing. The other day we had three different travel agents willing to do um, and provide an opportunity for honeymooners and they were fisher as well. So we had this all-inclusive activities in between and fishing charters, taking them for a full day, 60 miles off the coast to fish their, billfish and marlin and tunas like this, for example. Coastline of Costa Rica in the Pacific is so amazing. You just by landscape, you are just breathtaking. Surfing spots as well. But also Costa Rica is a land of volcanoes. As I mentioned before, we have 5 active volcanoes. And all just the mountain landscape, it's amazingly to see. Actually, we have a trip coming up that visits 2 of these active volcanoes. The Boas volcano on the right bottom and the Arenal volcano on the left. For example, what it comes not only to see the volcanic mountain, it's also what surrounds the dynamics of geology that happens on a volcanic area. For example, in Costa Rica, we have considered one of the largest thermomineral spring water coming from the surface of the Arenal volcano. So there is actually a river that is about 3 miles wide underground, and it comes in little portions to the surface. And local people, build resorts and places and pools to enjoy this curative with healing properties, water that is loaded with minerals. The Danish studies have also declared that these thermal mineral waters in Costa Rica are possibly of the purest because they come from not even 4 miles away from the volcanic origin. They loaded with silicon dioxide, magnesium, manganesium, calcium, etc., to bring the skin cleanness, thermomineral effect as well, pain relief, etc. Has a lot of properties, and we have several of these around the country. Of course, Costa Rica is becoming a place of peace. Wellness and psychedelic healing retreats also are of the top that we are considering. Now the world is changing. Peoples of the world are more thick about the stress, about the city, about the job, about the family problems, addictions, alcoholism. Stress is possibly taking over many of the societies. So in Costa Rica, we have as well as the ayahuasca retreats with the Peruvian formula of bringing people back to their soul in this considered psychedelic healing retreats that we open at wellness XM, part of the travel XM Costa Rica in this case. Of course, building your own tortilla must be something that can be sounded, oh, I'm not done for that. But actually building that and bringing that an opportunity for you to enter Costa Rican homes and communities, it's actually something that we always take in consideration. If we're driving from place point A to point B and we have a chance to stop the bus and see these coffee pickers and have a conversation with them, or going to the coffee plantation and learn about this. Also, we want to bring original typical experiences and encounters that are eligible for bringing opportunities for people. Costa Rica is divided in 7 provinces. We call them provinces. 4 of them converge in the Central Valley, where we have a 60% of the population of Costa Rica. San Jose, the purple one, Cartago, Heredia, and Alajuela, the red and yellow right there. So when you arrive to Costa Rica, you can arrive to 2 different airports. The San Jose Airport, SJO, holds the 72% of the international flights. We have now international flights direct from Atlanta, from Orlando, from many places. So, and the other airport is located at Guanacaste. Here on the left is the green province right there, where we have mostly the all-inclusive. 28% of the arrival flights, international airlines arrive to Guanacaste because it's closer to the volcanic area and it's closer to the beautiful beaches as well. So one by one, San Jose, of course, you find a lot of cultural points, markets, theaters, museums, and plazas. Learn about the context of Costa Rica's creation and our origins, well as the Alajuela, all the national park, the volcano, the hot springs, the rivers and rainforests and mountains. Same thing with Heredia, having a lot of the natural ecological trips and reserves, private reserves and national forest reserves and waterfalls. Things like this are also come by Cartago being our old capital city, bringing the national archaeological sites and the Turrialba volcano, as well as having Punta Arenas as the long province along the coast of the Pacific with of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Punta Arenas extends and touches Guanacaste on the left north, right on the northwest, I'm sorry. Also having of the most beautiful collections of beaches, coastlines, and hot springs, luxury villas, 5-star hotels, all-inclusives, etc., etc. Limon will be the least developed province where I live, basically 1 hour away from San Jose. There's an advantage of being the least developed, is that it's the most pristine province of Costa Rica. We'll talk about that. In Costa Rica, you have the possibility with Travel Exempt to manage tours that are educational tours. We also have some preset tours that I will tell you at the end, but just an example of overviewing an 8-night, 9 days location tour, educate tours. So Costa Rica highlights, bringing day-by-day activities. Also remember that we are specialized in providing you the opportunity of building your own program, your own itinerary with different schemes of tours, different categories of activities depending on your travelers. Ecological tours in Costa Rica so important. We have also specialized tours that are for this entomologists or zoologists or teachers of biology of the United States, bringing their groups of students of college here to Costa Rica. This is so important as well. This is a little sample of what will be one of these trips that are structured for a higher understanding in the science world as well. Besides that, we have the adrenaline junkies that travel to Costa Rica. Of course, it's an open area. Outdoor activities are possibly the most wonderful things that you can live on a class 4 river rafting or a 3-hour ATV tour across the mountains and rivers and beaches, kayaking in the ocean, rappelling, zip lining in many different areas. So this offers the opportunity for those who are really sporty and looking forward to do adrenaline and never stay at the hotel just resting. They want to, live life at its fullest. So here it is, the Gravity Falls, the coast-to-coast trip also in Costa Rica from the Caribbean lowlands in this so-called Amazon, Costa Rican Amazon, to the volcano of Arenal all the way to the Pacific coastline on the Central Pacific coast, for example. So this brings also a coast to coast, Caribbean, volcanoes, center of the country to Pacific. This is just examples of how we can also develop depending on what's your sales scope. What is exactly you're managing in luxury travel? You're managing mostly yourself into honeymoon trips, LGTB tours, family vacations, couples and romantic getaways, as well as group incentive and corporate trips. So I'm just passing some of the slides that are generating some of the most impactful experiences for those in the rural tourism are waterfalls, whitewater rafting, rappelling, etc. And the last new I have here for you before we come into the questions and answer portion of our presentation is that we do have already another FAM trip. I know that two people here in this meeting already attended our August FAM trip, our past FAM trip that was quite short, I understand. And we are actually built a new FAM trip for February 2025. So that all of you are invited with a special rate, by the way. You can bring also your colleagues, your travel advisor, also adult relatives you can bring to this FAM trip because the focus and the scope of this FAM trip is recognizing the most impactful regions for travelers in Costa Rica and bringing together the most impactful activities must learn while in Costa Rica as well, providing you the opportunity of seeing, learning, and learning from living directly from your skin of what is it to be in Costa Rica. Experiencing that something that I told you about Pura Vida, it's a must. If you want to be a good providing Costa Rica as a destination in your bucket list, this is possibly the best option will be to join us on this amazing FAM trip. It's going to be 7 nights and it's going to be 8 days, providing you of all included right there with transportation, hotels. Let me show you that one moment. Coming here to the end. Now, after this is the FAM trip. It's offer especially for you that are attending this masterclass. What we want to provide to you is the opportunity for you to be a good ambassador of Costa Rica, even without taking this FAM trip yet. But we will try and we will do and commit to provide you marketing materials such as flyers, programs, ebook, customized with your company logo, with your name and contact emails and phone numbers, without our branding, with your branding exclusively as well. This FAM trip is open and we still have rooms available. And as I mentioned before, even those that are not travel agents but are relatives or friends that are coming in the same context can join. As well, we have 100% guaranteed departures with minimum 2 passengers for November, December 2024, and for February and August 2025. We are going to send you all of this material. So, no doubt, we want you to be provided from Travel XM, from ourselves, some material for you to have digital material to market and to post in your social media as well. So with this said, I would like to say Pura Vida to all of you. The first video that we played was with the context of pure life, having everyone being embraced by being welcome to the Pura Vida context. Beautiful. Now let me stop sharing. I see that there's some questions already in the chat right here. And if anybody has any more questions, we can open the microphone to you directly. Can be the question for all of us. Who wants to be the first? By providing you also the opportunity of sending you our flyers and marketing portions for depending on the context of what you sell. For example, some of you are doing only honeymoons and romantic getaways. We will customize also these items. And let me show you, by the way, right here, these items that are presented. For example, we have here This is from a wedding that's gonna come in an expo. We're bringing Costa Rica as one of the top-notch destinations for weddings. This is for one of our other travel agents in Fairgrounds, Florida, as well. And so just wanted to bring an example of those flyers that we can provide to you as well as marketing materials.
Eric,
Yes.
I do see one question from Elsa asking about destination weddings for groups. So if you want to maybe talk about the wedding we recently planned for Christy and Tyler, right? Like at the Springs.
Yes.
And also there's one more question, like what is the best time to visit Costa Rica? Best time to travel to Costa Rica? Those are the two questions.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm reading the question. Thank you. Yeah, weddings, actually, we provide all what is included on venues, as we provided to some of our recent requests. We provide not only the transportation from the airport on luxury coaches to the destination place selected, but we have a diversity, more than 11 different sites in Costa Rica: beach, mountain, more romantic mountain, rainforest, hot springs. We provide also all reservations and all opportunities for our travel agents to show the newlyweds and the honeymooners, of course, a pre and a post for all the invitees, relatives and friends. Not only the celebration portion, but also the hosting site as a hotel or as a venue, especially for that. On top of that, also we have activities that are going on daily. If they're, for example, this one for Chris and for Tyler, it's 7 days, so they're gonna come 2 days before the celebration, and we provided even the whole orchestration of the venue of the wedding itself, and of course, like a honeymoon a few days after. The members and family members also join us, and they stay at the same spot, and some of them are leaving before. So we provide all the logistics. It's a one-stop shopping in this case, not only for the wedding, also for corporate retreats. It's we take care of everything related to airport pickup, transfers, hotel reservations, tours reservations, as well as all that has to do with the group. I see that another question is related to wedding groups. We will send you that, Elsa Davis. We have some samples of flyers that we can customize for you. So what I'm gonna do is that you have all my email, and I'm gonna post it right here. And we have your email, so that we're gonna send you an email to all of you, personalized what will be your scope, so that we can provide to you all the full details. The fam trip includes everything but not airfare. We do not work with IATA yet. Instead, we provide you with everything related internally, domestically here in Costa Rica. What is the best time to travel? How we can apply for the fam trip? Thank you, Lona. Yes, on this email that we will send to you with all the invitation to our marketing material, we will provide you also of the links of sign up for the fam trip. There is a few rooms available for February, and this is an amazing price, by the way. And all that includes, so we'll send you the program, includes picking you up on a luxury bus, a big bus with our trip leader, a specialist that will be with you all the time, staying at different hotels, 3 different destinations for 7 nights, as well as activities involved and food involved as well. And also dinners out for you to choose. And our trip leader also can suggest what is the best time to travel to Costa Rica. If you're talking about the least rainy season, most people say, when is the best time? Well, depends on budget and depends on what you want to experience. But I would say price-wise, it will be greater from June to November. June to November, prices are green season prices. So considered to be maybe 10 or 15% cheaper in hotels and transportation. But weather-wise, will be considered from December to April. That's when it rains less. And most people are willing to come and enjoy the beach and get out of, get away from the snow and the cold weather in the north. So that's exactly when, from December to April, will be considered to have that. Yes, the fam trip includes no air, but includes hotels, transfers, tours, and meals. Yes, we will send you the program, Elisa. We will send you the program of this fam trip as well as the sign up link for you to select your space. 4 or 5 star vacations, clients want more like a 3 star. Yes, we do that. We have had managed. We don't say no to nothing. Basically, we know the whole country. I spent my life, 20 years of my life, traveling all around Central America. And before this, being as operations and sales manager, I was a trip leader. So I know exactly what places not to go. But believe me, I know the places where to take you for a great value and, of course, for a great experience. And difference from DMCs to, okay, tour operators. Well, DMC is a one-stop. We work with suppliers. We are a destination management company, meaning that we're licensed to book contracts with not only places where to make a tour, where to make a hike in the forest, where to make a zip line, where to make a horse ride, where to make a kayak, but also we have special contracts and, of course, context of having contract with hotels, better prices, so we can manage your 15% commission instead of having, booking one by one each activity from your side. Believe me, you won't get 15% of commission. Sometimes some tour operators will provide you only a 5 or 10%. If you're doing independently, we welcome you to join us on as a DMC. The fam trip is worth it. Thank you, Greg. There is a good, Greg, can you unmute and tell us a little bit, maybe 1 minute of your experience for the fam trip?
Yeah, yeah, it was just, it was so enjoyable that we got to experience. We did a volcano hike. You actually, during the hike, we saw sloths in nature. I've seen them before, but they've always been at reserves and stuff like that. But actually hiking through the rainforest and seeing them in nature was a first for me. And just experiencing, the monkeys and everything there, and got a good variety. We spent a couple days by the Arno volcano there, and then also I had a couple days by the beach there, so got a good variety. Did a zip line, got so much there that you would experience what your clients could do there, and got a taste of just so much, and just fell in love with the country of Costa Rica. It's awesome.
Thank you, Greg. A question about how to, what is it? What's the best volcano to go thermal mineral? Thank you, Heather. And there's 2 places in Costa Rica where the quality and also in terms of experience, and that's going to be the Tabacon Hot Springs in Arenal Volcano, and of course the ones from Rincon de la Vieja, closer to the airport LIR and Liberia Airport at Vandara and Borinquen. So those are the 2. Rincon de la Vieja Volcano and Arenal Volcano are the most crystal clear. Put my hands on the fire for those thermal mineral volcanic springs as well. Let me see. Okay, now we have already shared there on the chat, but also we will share it on your email. So expect an email from our support team and marketing team related to the fam trip, because I see some of you are really wanted to select your space before is full, and also related to the departures, the group departures that we have open. Even with 2 people, we guarantee these departures, and we do pay a 15% commissions on every single one. We do have also single supplement prices as well as for the fam trip, and as well as for the invitees, we have a special rate. Besides, okay, we have another question right there. I'm pretty sure Heather is still on the road. Want to hear Heather talk about any more question that you could want to do via microphone before we end our masterclass of September 2024.
Eric, I want to add a few things, right? So one of the question from Debbie is what differentiates us from other DMCs and tour operators in Costa Rica, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think one of them is, I mean, if you talk to Eric or even in people that have traveled, right? people that work with Eric, the testimonials itself speak for it, right? Like the passion, the experience of Eric, Marilu, and others in Costa Rica, right? And they've also worked in not only sales, like Eric has done all like different parts of being in travel. So that is one of them. And like from my perspective, like I bring in like outside perspective, right? Like I've traveled to a lot of countries and I fell in love with Costa Rica. And that's one of the reason like I partnered with Marilu, is my counterpart in Costa Rica. On top of that, like not only DMC, we are in a way we want to also be like a consortia for you guys, right? Like we want to be a Costa Rica consortia where we want to provide like regular training, right? This class is more at the higher level. We even want to get to like separate classes for different experiences, right? Like if it's a one master class will be specifically around weddings, show the destinations, like that kind of like get nitty gritty of it. And the next step in the process, right? Like this is one example we can give. Recently, we have a travel agent. She is attending a wedding expo. So our marketing team may prepared all the material, right? Like, and that is branded on the travel agent's company so that she can showcase this material at this wedding expo. So right now, I mean, we'll also send you guys, we'll send you the brochures. On the brochures, we'll also send the instructions. It's as simple as you just replace the logos and you're free to share with your customers, share on your social media, right? And the plan is also to put a centralized place by different categories. And per category, we want to able to provide material for brochure, material that you can post on Instagram, material you can post on TikTok, Facebook, right? Like all the different options. And on top of this, like anything, right? Like we love feedback, like uh, good, bad, like whatever, like we want to continuously strive and get better and better. So any way we can help, like we would be really happy to. So that's one. And the bigger pieces, like I come from a technology background. Like if you see on the initial screen, there was other company Block TXM, right? So I also have a very heavy tech focus. So what does that mean, right? Like we are also creating systems so that everything is smoother operations wise. Like once your customers land in, like, we are going to also use not only providing personalization once they get there, but also like with technology, like constant reminders, invoices, even like for when it comes to payments. I mean, we normally say we pay after 5 days after the trip, but our SLAs have been like we have been paying on the same day or even one day after the trip is complete, right? And we are continuously investing in our technology to provide better experience for our partners, like for you guys, right? Like travel agents, like, I mean, your success is our success. Like that's the way I push everybody in my team to operate, and they are doing a great job, right? Like, so Eric, if you want to add anything else on top of
Yes,
this, please.
thank you, Suman. Before I answer Debbie's and Elsa's about this group sizes and trips and also scored. Yes, all of the group after, if it requested a family trip of 5 people and they wanted an escorted specialist guide or trip leader, we will provide it. But when we have groups uh, valued more than 10 people, we always provide an escort, someone who's in charge of doing all the, let's say, checking into the hotel. So you just go and sign your form when you get to the hotel, making things more simple and informing everything along the route. So we always want to do that on the group travel. We want to always provide you of an escort trip leader, someone with more than 20 years or 15 years of experience bringing groups together. What size groups we consider? We have our luxury vans from a family of 4 to a couple, for a family of 20 people, or a group of 20, or a group of 40. For example, I'm working along with Heather right now. They're driving, and we're working a group of plus 30 or something like that. Heather, is that right? And one of the best things to work with us differently from other companies is that how flexible are we? I don't know. You guys can tell me about that. The ones who work with us already. Um, Greg did, and also Heather, and how flexible. Yesterday, I was having a WhatsApp messaging. I have an instant, answering to your messages via WhatsApp or email. So turnaround for your quotes request is 48 hours, something like that. Sometimes we can do like the following day. Sometimes we can do 2 to 3 days. Heather, you want to give your app for that? Maybe you can unmute and tell us about. Mm-hmm.
What was the question? I was listening, but I wasn't sure if I heard the question.
How is so far your experience with our working with us in terms of working with other companies in other countries, for example, in terms of the flexibility and availability of change and swap to one activity to another, for example?
No, it's been great. I mean, I give feedback, and it's prompt, and it's lots of good details and lots of options, and it's not just okay. It's never I can't do this. It's kind of like, all right, well, we can do this, and this will change, and we'll have to, and we kind of go back and forth, and we negotiate what we're looking for and what the client wants. So I'm very happy.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you. I know you're driving and busy. Careful with that. The fam trip airport is SJO, San Jose. It's right in the middle of the country, and so that allows us to go north and west and south. That's great, and that's a very good question, Elisa. Thank you so much. I know that some of the link to join the fam trip is not working, but we're gonna be sending that via email. Okay, SJO, correct, San Jose, which is the main airport of our country, exactly. Yes, what is it? Why people choose to work more with us? And well, we are one-stop shopping. We take care of detail-oriented. We want to ensure 100% guarantee the satisfaction of your clients. Since they're satisfied, you are satisfied, and we are going to build more business. And one important thing, let me post there what is going to be. Okay, I already answered that question. Excellent. Don't want to say it twice. And as far as marketing material, yes, you're invited. You will be receiving all of the details related to the fam trip, related for you to sell also the departures. We have November, December, February, and August, guaranteed with 2 passengers. So we already have those running already. Those are group travel, so the rates are very decent for 7 nights, 8 days, including transportation, trip leader, hotels, plus 4 stars, and tours all around, as well as food. Excellent. All right. Suman, do you want to add anything more, anything else, so that we can get to finish our master class for September 2024, and we'll be seeing you there in December as well?
No, Eric, I just want to thank everyone again. The only request is we will be sending like a survey link after this, right? Like, I mean, any feedback you can give us, how we can make the masterclass better, or what else you would like to see, right? Like, in what other ways we can provide more value, right? That would be really, really appreciated.
Thank you all very much for joining this masterclass, and you will be having our emails. Mostly working along with me, it's a very prompt response. I designed your trip like this, and believe me, we are always open and available to all your comments and all your suggestions. I know travelers change their minds, so you guys need someone who can be flexible to have these modifications done. On behalf of all the team of Travel XM, we experienced managing Costa Rica for many years, and I want to thank you all for joining this meeting.